this last topic, and I go on this, and I might open the phone lines up for 1 or 2 calls on this, man. This is very interesting. This is a kind of an older interview. It might have been a couple of months ago, but this is Carmelo Anthony D. Wade discussing him leaving Denver. And I had no clue that the trade was not supposed to be for the Knicks, because everything I remember about that trade was that he requested the Knicks, and the media was telling us he wanted to go to New York because it's close to home. And also, I think he got family in New York too, but he also said that his wife at the time was trying to get into acting, which I don't understand why they would be thinking about New York if she was trying to get into acting. I thought you were supposed to go to Hollywood, but this is us being dumb listening to ESPN and Stephen A. Smith. This is before we found out that they lie about 75% of everything they say about these players, right? So, yeah, he said it was never supposed to be New York. He was supposed to go play with Kobe.
So, hey, I'm going to play this season, but look, y'all got to show me what y'all going to do. I'm not trying to rebuild. I just got a taste of the Western Conference Finals. I'm not trying to rebuild.
And you got signed a 5-year deal.
Yeah, so now I'm like, I got like a year, 2 years left.
Right, in that deal.
On that deal. So now that y'all about to make me rebuild with 2 years left on my deal. Here's a play. Look, I'm not rebuilding. I'm hearing rumblings of y'all about to amnesty Chauncey, right? Y'all gonna amnesty Chauncey. Y'all gonna send JR and Nene to Chicago for somebody. They wanted Joe Kim. Bring Joe Kim, they go ship Nene out. Bro, who you about to have me over here with? You know what I'm saying? Like, who? It took me 6 years to get to this point of making it to the Western Conference Finals. And now you want me to start all over again. No. So here's what we're gonna do. I don't know what y'all thing is, but I'm not trying to rebuild. I'm not saying I want to get out of here, but y'all got to show me y'all cards. And
the cards was you out of there.
The cards was, no, we want you to stay. Well, you know how I go. We want you to stay. It's like, no, y'all playing with me now. I said this in June. We went to a baseball game at Oriole Stadium and had a good time, and we talked like men, and we figured it out. And like, I understand where you at, understand where you at. Let's make this happen. Here's the teams. Chicago, the deal was done with the Lakers. Me and Nene for Lamar Odom and Bynum. That deal was done. I never thought about New York.
The Lakers,
but then when they turned that deal down, when George had that deal and turned that deal down.
So that didn't happen.
Right? He turned that down. Now it's like, oh, y'all don't want me in the West. You gonna send me to the East?
Yeah, you gotta get out the West.
Get me to New York.
So imagine that. This is the year, which is funny because it would have been similar to what Kevin Durant did, because they played in the Western Conference Finals against the Lakers the year the Lakers beat them and then went on to beat. I think they beat Orlando that year. That might have been Kobe's first ring without Shaq, I think. So Melo, Billups had got traded for Allen Iverson, because they got Iverson, and they both made All-Star. They both was doing their thing, but just wasn't the right fit. And they traded Iverson for Billups. They brought Billups in. I never forget, Billups was such a great inspiration and a great leader for Denver and for Carmelo. Carmelo was in the best shape of his life that season, because remember, Melo started to get a little chubby. He was in great shape, and the knock on Melo was similar to what it is for Luka, that he didn't lock down on D. Well, Carmelo Anthony defense was phenomenal that season. And we know Chauncey Billups is a great defender, a great point guard, a great leader. So everything Melo did, he pushed all the right buttons that season. It was a great season. They should have got to the finals. Honestly, even though I like Kobe so much, I honestly think that Kobe had got some help from the refereeing, because Denver was giving them problems in that Western Conference Finals. And the officiating was for the Lakers and for Kobe. I'm just being honest with that. And that happens a lot, right? The Denver Nuggets was able to pull it out, and Kobe was getting to the finals. And then he said, Denver started making the decision to, I guess, shed some cap space, I guess. So there was already letting him know, yeah, Billups gone. Now Billups gets there and immediately they go to the conference finals, and you don't want to bring that back. So Billups is done. And we getting rid of Nene. And we getting rid of J.R. Smith. Right. I don't know what the deal was with Kenyon Martin, but I'm quite sure that they was probably gonna get rid of him too. So they was wanting to get rid of all those things. And now that we know all the things that George Karl said about Kenyon Martin, J.R. Smith, and Carmelo, now we understand why they wanted all of them out. George Karl hated them. He hated them, and they hated him back. If you go and look at any of George Karl tweets talking about any of those guys, and I think George Karl also got a book slamming those guys as well, just talking trash. It was really bad, and I had no clue that it was that toxic around George Karl, but it was. So I can understand why he really wanted to do trades and get rid of those dudes. If you listen to the rest of that clip, he's talking about he wanted to trade those guys. He wanted to get rid of Kenyon Martin and Nene and bring in Derek Favors coming out of Georgia Tech, which Utah had. So he said it was a trade with Utah. George Karl was trying to get Derek Favors and all of that stuff. But the main thing I wanted to get at is that after they lost to the Lakers, once they started talking about blowing up the Nuggets, that's when Melo was like, well, look, if y'all go rebuild, we got to talk about where I need to go, because I don't want to be part of a rebuild. I've been in the league 6 years trying to build up to get to the conference finals. I just get to the conference finals, and now you telling me you getting rid of all the dudes that y'all put around me to help me get there. And now you want me to start over, right? So he was like, just send me somewhere. And they had to deal with the Lakers. For Nene, Carmelo going to the Lakers for Lamar Odom and who was the other guy? He said Lamar Odom and Bynum. What was Bynum's first name? Andrew Bynum. Andrew Bynum, Lamar Odom for Nene and Melo. Probably some draft picks as well, because Melo would be a big piece. So maybe Denver was probably sending some draft picks as well. Can you imagine it? Now, Denver did get a hold from New York. They got way more from New York, so I understand it. But can you imagine Melo getting teamed up with Kobe after Kobe had already got a ring? So I just want to throw that out there to say, wow. And he said George Karl is the person who pulled the plug on that trade because they didn't want Melo to be in the West. So add that to the Kobe Bryant situation where he almost got CP3, but the league pulled the plug on that. And then he almost got Kevin Garnett because Kevin Garnett wanted to team up with Kobe instead of going to Boston. And they pulled the plug on that. And now we find out that he almost got Melo. If he ever would have got someone as good as Melo or Garnett, because we seen what he did with Pau Gasol. If he would have got Garnett or Melo, he getting 6 rings. He catching Mike on rings. And I just want to leave with y'all with that, man. That's all I wanted to say about that. Not gonna open the phone lines up, man. Y'all leave everything in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about Melo and Kobe Bryant teaming up in that year and how that would have been if you think he gets 6 rings, man. I catch y'all on Full Panel Friday. Make sure you're sub to the channel if you're not already sub. Use that promo code if you want to go and make some money on Underdog Fantasy. You also can use the promo code ManDown at manscaped.com if you want to get products from Manscaped and get 20% off as well. So use all of that stuff that helps the channel out. Hitting the thumbs up, leaving comments, sharing it. All of that helps the channel out. If you want to donate to the Cash App is in the description box. If you want to send a super chat, you can do that. All of that stuff helps the channel out, helps me come to you. Because if I don't get some type of something from this, then my wife will make me shut the channel down. That's you know how that work, man. The family want their time too. So but I appreciate everybody being in here, man. Appreciate all the comments and the super chat, man. I'll catch y'all in the next episode. Peace.